Hello everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be speaking all about the 1952 wheat penny. Most of these are just worth a few cents. There are some that are going to be worth, $5 or $10 because they've got a little variety if you look closely on them. There are others that have potential for way more than that based on condition or errors. I'll be explaining everything that I know about these pennies. We'll also be covering the proofs, and then we'll lastly get into some of the conditional rarities. So let's get right into my presentation. I've got clear photos as well as an explanation with values, so let's get right over there and start the video. So now it's time to go through the 1952 wheat penny. Here's a little bit of information if you'd like to pause and don't know too much about wheat pennies in general, just sort of a more overview type on the entire series from 1909 to 1958. This is one of the later ones and is generally pretty common. There is potential for it to be valuable because it's in really nice condition. Now, the traditional ones is going to be the red, so where the original sort of red copper looking luster is shining through and it hasn't toned brown or red brown. The values will be lower for those, barring people who pay for toning, but I'm not going to get into that here. It's worth certifying if it's in mint state 66 or better. So if it's pretty much flawless looking and you think you could get a 66 or certainly 67, then you should definitely send it in. The grading fees will be about $20, $25 if it's going to come back mint state 65. Unless you're doing it in bulk, probably better off not submitting the coins. In terms of the proofs, 1950 was really the first year they were mass producing the proof sets, and the mintages creep up. I mean, they start out with like 51, 52,000. By now it's at 80,000, and you really want to look for the cameo or deep cameo coins, which is where there's a lot of contrast between Lincoln's sort of the device of Lincoln himself and the 1 cent letters and the wheat years and the rest of the planchet. So deep cameo ones even go for 2,000 when it's super frosty and really mirrory on the outside. In terms of some of the varieties though, this is a nice one, double die obverse. It's could be attributed and graded at ANAX if it's in really nice shape, but these are for non-graded values. You can see a clear separation all through the trust, U on both sides of the U, the S, the T. It's a really nice double die and a good one to be looking for. There's also some more minor ones that maybe people haven't really paid too much attention to, so there's a higher propensity to find them, including this one where it's like a doubled eyelid right under the main eyelid of Lincoln, and then a second one that's a little bit more close spread, close to the main eyelid, and not as interesting or valuable, but something I still want to mention because there can be more than just that one type. Here we have a 50% brockage obverse for the first error that we're going to cover today. We'll go through a few different types, but basically it's the mirror image of a coin that would have been struck. So if you think the top die is striking coins with the obverse impression, the bottom is the striking the reverse. So a coin would have been struck and then didn't properly get out of the chamber, and then the reverse, there's a reverse in between that has been struck normally, and then it comes down and leaves its mirror impression on the front of this coin, and the rest of the die is able to strike the outside. So that's how that happens. A little bit confusing. This one is also interesting. It's been struck on a thicker than normal planchet, so sort of in the rolling the metals that then get that strip gets punched out, the planches get punched out of the strip. In this case, this one's a little too thick, 3.9 grams instead of 3.1. So if you think you have something that's way too thick, you can see how sharp of a strike it is, as it will often happen with thicker planchets. This one sold for $95. And then there's also this struck on a silver 10-cent planchet. Would have been intended for a regular sort of Roosevelt dime. This one was a $2,000 sale. Really nice condition. Looks, I would say that I feel is pretty attractive. You do see the "In God We Trust" lettering cut off up top, but a good coin overall and a great way to round out today. So a few errors I'm always interested in. Plus there's 3 varieties. The eyelids are minor. This one's a little bit better and something that I would really say go out there, try to find it. It would be great to have. If I could see this maybe getting in the Cherry Picker's Guide. It's a pretty nice looking error or variety, and people could end up wanting and finding some, making it a little more popular, and then all of a sudden it's being graded by PCGS and NGC. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like the video, comment, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. And I also have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and some other social media platforms. You can also go to my main channel website, treasuretownYT.com, to learn more about the channel and sort of stay in contact. I also will eventually host all of these videos on coinsmetalscards.com, which will be both news, marketplace, and coin information. I do have the goal of eventually getting pretty much every US coin, date, mint mark, denomination on the channel with a similar video to the one that you just watched, and that will likely all be hosted there. And then I also have treasuretowncoins.com, which is sort of my coin dealing wing, coin dealing only entity that is a little bit less focused on content production. So thank you so much, and I'll look forward to seeing you on some of my other videos. I also have videos that are not just the date, mint mark, denomination recap in this format, so you can check some of those out, and I'll have fun seeing you there.